Colman Domingo, who I absolutely love on screen, his acting has such a sultry and richness to it. If you've seen any of his other work, you already know he has impeccable range. He stars as Muncie Daniels, who ends up being at the wrong place, wrong time. And this is after he went on a trip to the Poconos. Everything is fine until he stumbles across a murder. This quickly turns into him being framed, and he's now the prime suspect of this crime. So the series follows him as he's fighting to prove his innocence. And this is an 8-episode series around about 40 minutes each. I thought the casting was really good. We see some familiar faces. We see Dion Cole, Marsha Stephanie Blake, upcoming actor Thaddeus Mixon, who you may know from Reasonable Doubt. I love that show too, by the way. I love the dynamic of Muncie's relationship with his estranged wife and them trying to co-parent and all the struggles that, come with that. I thought it was very realistic and felt very familiar. I would describe the series as a slow burn. The themes that they tackled were really important. Racism, the people at the top using money and power to abuse and control things, hate groups, the injustices. However, I feel like they introduced and set up all of these themes, but they weren't truly developed or addressed throughout the series. And you're left at the end of the series with a feeling of, okay, this kind of dragged, but also something feels incomplete. Muncie's character surprised me based off of them showing he had this background in jiu-jitsu and him being a political commentator. I assumed he would be very intelligent and sharp. As the series progresses, you see Muncie is not the sharpest and just doing some really dumb and silly things. But that is what brings the relatability in, I guess, a human that's flawed. There are a few examples that I want to share that stood out to me without giving too much away. Let me take a sip of my drink. One, people were clearly after him. We all know this. They slashed his tires, all that. But he continued to drive the same car the entire series. Make it make sense. There was another scene where there were some boys outside in his family's neighborhood, not his neighborhood, and he decided to go out into the street and pume into the air while you're basically on the run and wanted. His decision making was just not the best. Yeah, it just was very frustrating to watch. Definitely. Now, did this need to be 8 episodes? I don't think so. I think this would have been better off as like a 2-hour movie. The 8 episodes were repetitive. Honestly caught myself saying, okay, when is this going to be over? Also thought it was interesting that he continuously said he wanted to protect his family, but they ended up being at the forefront of the most dangerous situations. All that could have been prevented by him. So it was just like this continuous cycle of rooting for him, but also wanting to pull your hair out at all the decisions that he continued to make. So we have to talk about the burning topic all over social media right now. A lot of comments about Colman Domingo's mouth being open the whole time. As I was watching, I was wondering the same thing, honestly. I didn't know if it was intentional for the role. I didn't know if that was like one of his quirks. But what I love is Colman Domingo basically made a post on social media joining along in the joke. And I absolutely love that. I love that. I love that he's being a good sport. I love that he's just being positive about it. That just shows his character. Overall, there are a lot of holes, and I think that stems from them maybe biting off a little more than they could chew and introducing so many elements and themes. But I do think that this is a story that needed to be told, despite it not being executed the best. And I definitely think it's worth a watch. I'm going to give this series a 3.5 out of 5. Also wanted to share some upcoming roles for Colman, just so you know. He's been cast to play Michael Jackson's father, Joe Jackson, in Lionsgate's upcoming biopic, Michael. There's some talk he may be involved in directing or acting in an upcoming Nat King Cole biopic. There's also been talk of him meeting with Marvel and discussing an MCU role. So we'll see what comes from that. I'm really looking forward to it. I'm really looking forward to see what he does in the new year. I know he's going to be blessed with so many more roles, and I'm so excited to continue to support him. If you made it to the end, thank you so much for watching, and let me know down below if you've watched and your thoughts on this series. I love to chat about it in the comments with you guys. Please also like and subscribe. Until next time, bye.